What happened? What about Hans?
He's taken care of for now, but he was on the edge there for a bit. And so were you, lad, so calm yourself. Last night you were 1 foot in the grave already. You were lucky you happened to turn up here.
Well, I have to talk to Hans.
You won't get much out of him now. He's lost a lot of blood and he has a fever.
What happened to him?
That cutthroat that followed you fellas cut him up bad. Hans was fighting him outside, then he came staggering in, said something about Fortuna and collapsed on the floor.
But you'll help him, won't you?
God willing. Well, I managed to pull you out of death's grip, so maybe I'll be blessed again. I'll go check on him as soon as I'm done with you. How are you feeling?
I've had worse. My shoulder stings a bit, but I'm all right otherwise.
You're brave. If you weren't, we wouldn't be speaking now. Ah, your shoulder is looking a lot better. I did my best, but I don't see good no more, especially at night. So I didn't do the best job. It just wouldn't stop bleeding. And now you've moved about, it started up again. Take this and bandage it up. Not much else we can do with it now.
Thanks. I reckon I can manage that. But I need to get a breath of fresh air to clear my head.
You slept through half of God's bright day, lad. So, if you feel up to it, go ahead. At least we'll see how steady you are on your feet. While you're at it, you can stop by the trough and wash all that nasty grime off of yourself. I found an old tunic. Put it on so you don't catch a chill. It gets cold here by the water. No doubt you'll be famished and need a bite to eat. There's some hot soup in the pot on the fire. If that ain't enough, I put some bread and cheese on the table outside for you. And you'll find some of our home-brewed liquor there, too, in case you need bucking up. Don't overdo it, though.
I won't. Thanks a lot. May God reward you 1,000-fold. What's your name, by the way?
Bushena's my name.
Well, I'm Henry.
I know. Hans told me. I'll go and check on him. When you're done with everything, come and see me and we'll figure out what to do next.
Так, хорошо, что мы выжили. Надо, чтобы еще Ян выжил. Так, надо подлатать себя.
Bleeding. Better bandage it up quick before I bleed out.
Так, надо покушать, потом умыться. Еще есть снадобье какое-то. Сейчас выпьем настоечку, полегчает. А, не, нельзя. Так, куда дальше? Пойдем умоемся.
Hans, can you hear me, friend? Christ. In the end, you bore the brunt for both of us. May all the saints watch over you, and over Bajana, too. Lord God Almighty, look down on a poor sinner and hear my heartfelt prayer. Protect Sir Hans, and don't let him die. Just as he didn't let me die. Preserve his life. Because he's a young gentleman, brave and just and a good Christian. And look down on Bajana too, and let her save Sir Hans, and deliver her from all evil, and grant her grace, because she herself is merciful and didn't turn us away in our hour of need. Amen.
Надеюсь, все будет хорошо. Так, замок мы вскрывать не будем. Выйдем на улицу и умоемся. Там уже решим, что делать. Все как в реальной жизни. А вот этот разбойник. Так, а еще повязку я могу наложить.
I should eat something.
Так, это настоечка-то, да?
Well, seems Bujana isn't some quack. She's got a damn good setup here.
Ну так она травница. Может, какое-нибудь зелье сделает Яну. Так, что тут еще можно осмотреть такого? Идти пока, наверное, никуда не надо, правильно? И только вот интересно, где барбос. Так, что еще тут можно сделать? Так, ну мы вроде бы покушали. Может, можно налить снадобье уже? Что мы что-то там взяли? Ну, пока что нет. Что приготовить можем? А, пока готовить не надо.
Try to eat something. An empty stomach won't do you no good. There's something for you on the table, and there's a pot on the fire.
Так, ну я вроде бы уже покушал. Давай еще раз покушаем.
Aye, true bliss is a full belly. I did what you asked.
And you didn't faint while doing it. I'm pleased, Henry. I had to pour a whole Lethean potion into you last night. That's what I call medicine. It can either put a dead man back on his feet or make sure he never gets up again. Ah, so consider yourself lucky.
I will. But what about Capon?
Well, he's less lucky. That brute really knocked him about before hands beat the life out of him.
Is there any way I can help? I owe it to Capon, and I want to do whatever I can.
You owe him, all right. I've got a bit of that Lethean potion left. It ought to work wonders on him, same as on you. But I can't just give it to him now. First, we have to deal with that fever. The best and fastest remedy for that is chamomile decoction. Luckily, it ain't too hard to brew, but we'll need some fresh sage for it. And, of course, chamomile. You ought to be able to manage that. You've got young legs and eyes, and I reckon a bit of a stroll would do you good.
But you said Lethean potion could be fatal. Do you really want to try it on Hans?
He's young and well-nourished. He ought to be able to handle it, as long as we get his fever down first. After all, it worked on you, and considering how he's wounded, we don't have no better option.
All right. If you think so.
I do. But first, we'll be needing them fresh herbs.
All right. Tell me, what do the herbs look like?
Sage has a purple blossom And chamomile has white petals with a yellow center. At the back of the hut, there's a footpath leading up to the rocks. You go along there till you reach a sort of small meadow. You ought to find both of them there.
Great. I'll be back in a jiffy with a couple of handfuls.
All right. I'll be glad if you get back here soon. I don't feel right being here with that corpse in my yard. Seeing him lying there gives me chills. I can't think straight.
I understand. It makes me anxious too. Maybe I could manage to bury him somewhere. Or at least hide him somewhere further off in the woods.
The Lord be praised. I'd be truly glad of that. Do you feel up to it, laddie? You ain't in the best of shape, and digging a grave's a tough job, even for a healthy fella.
Not to worry. I'll see what I can manage. It's on account of us that he's here anyway. I wouldn't want you to have any more trouble. And a bit of effort, even if it's a dirty job, is the least I owe you.
Well, if you think you can manage it, good. But don't overstrain yourself. And thanks.
Where should I put him?
Grab the spade by the dung pile and bury him by the creek. The soil will be softer there, so it should be easier. When you head out the gate, follow your nose. Find a good spot somewhere in the reeds and nettles. And when you're done with that, better have a wash, so's you don't have the stench of death on you.
True. I'll bear that in mind.
I'll sort out the rest with Ignatius, the gravedigger, when he comes by again. So's I don't have that wretch lying here till Judgment Day.
All right. I'll get to it.
Так, ладно, у нас появилось 2 задания. Так, где лопату взять? Вот лопата. Придется его тащить. Так, может, оденемся хотя бы как-то. Хотя, если честно, все в крови. Ладно, давай попробуем все равно одеться. Что он нам не нужен пока что. Пусть будет так. Потом, если что, умоемся. Но умыться на одежде так не поможет, да? Или помогло? Помогло? Нифига себе. Думал, надо будет купаться так. Понесли. Ой, далеко-то нести придется. Если я таким шагом еле-еле хожу. Погнали тогда. Блин, мне интересно, где барбос. Его бы найти. Ой-ой-ой. Кабанчик. Я надеюсь, ты нападать не будешь. Может, это дикий кабанчик.
Ah, shit. Oh, my shoulder. Oh, these bastards hard work. You can't be in the ground soon enough.
Ну что, все, мы сделали, получается. Пойдем умываться. И дальше искать травы для Яна. Опа, кабанчик. Блин, барбоса бы найти. Я надеюсь, он как-нибудь найдется. Давай ему. Опа. Воркотун. Это уже и собачка. Интересно, чего она нам не помогла. Так, мы умылись. Тут что у нас? Ладно, пошли за травами тогда. Так, Варкатун со мной пойдет или нет, интересно? Не.
Damn, shoulder still hurts like hell. Maybe now it'll tell me when it's gonna rain.
Надо немножко потерпеть.
Purple flower, sage. There we go.
Так, осталось собрать ромашку. Но все равно с шалфея побольше возьмем, пусть будет. Вдруг потом пригодится. Так, пойдем ромашку собирать.
That's it. Chamomile. Right, I've got all the herbs I need. So back to Bajena on the double. The sooner Hans gets that remedy, the better.
Так, пойдем лечить Яну. В принципе, не хватит. Ща придем поедим. Собака гавкает. Может, там что-то случилось, интересно.
Making such a fuss about. Could something have happened at Bajena's?
Да, сейчас, короче, проверим, что там.
Should have some weapon at hand, in case there's any foul play.
Так, и где мне оружие найти? А вот топор. Так, давайте его возьмем. Что мне кажется, что это бандиты обычные те. Ну, сейчас будем разговаривать с ними.
Hey, you! What do you want? Come here and tell me who you are, or I'll drum it out of you. Lord von Bergov sent us to find the renegades who ambushed some knights company down by the pond yesterday. A couple of them fled and are hiding out here in the rocks. So tell me who you are and what you know about it.
You're from Lord von Bergov? You don't look like it.
Kurva! Watch your tongue with me, boy. When I say we're from von Bergov, then we're from fucking von Bergov. Who else would we be from anyway? You can talk to me or talk to cold steel. Who the hell are you? And what are you doing here?
Так, что у меня самопрокачано? Рыцарство. Что сделать?
Do you think I'm a fool? I know a robber when I see one. There's been lots of you types in these parts recently, and the fellas from the village are well pissed off. So get lost and don't come back, or we'll take our axes to you.
Well, that wouldn't be very nice. The thing is, I don't see no angry fellas with axes. Just an old hag, and some wretch who won't live to tell the tale of how we dealt with him. This'll be quick,
Придется
boy.
драться.
This'll be quick, boy.
По одному, ребята.
Do it!
О, собака помогает, отлично.
Show your stuff. You want to try me?
Ну и куда вы убежали, а? Секунды.
Mixed up in all sorts of nonsense at my age.
Did they hurt you?
No, but I think they would have if you hadn't come along.
Sorry. I reckon it was one of those who followed us yesterday.
Look here. I almost got slaughtered twice in one day on account of you two. God be praised that my Pavlena wasn't here. Heaven knows what they'd have done to her. So, I'd like to know why all this is happening. Your friend was talking in a delirium in the night, saying you was knights. But if you two are knights, then I'm the Queen of Sheba.
Well, I must bow to your ladyship. Sir Hans is the young lord of Leiper and Perkstein. I'm Henry of Skalitz, son of Sir Radzig Kobyla, and I'm his bodyguard. We were heading to Troski to deliver a message from Sir Hanish of Leiper and Margrave Jobst to Lord von Berghoff. But we were ambushed by bandits yesterday down by the pond, and you already know the rest. And as God is my witness, we're no bandits. I swear to you, I'm thankful to you for saving us. And I'm sorry it caused you trouble.
Well, you sound sincere, so I'll take your word for it. I hope I won't live to regret it.
You won't. I promise you.
Promises are made to be broken, but thank you for dealing with them.
Sure. No need for thanks. What about Sir Hans? How's he doing?
He's holding up, I'd say. I treated his wounds and I'll change his bandages shortly. But what he needs most now is that remedy. Have you got everything for it?
Here. Chamomile and sage, like you said.
Excellent. Now to brew the potion from them. I gave you two the last of my supply during the night. But fresh is best anyways. It's a shame my daughter Pavlena ain't back yet. She'd get it done in a jiffy. But we'll just have to manage without her. But you can do it too. It ain't nothing hard. My eyes are so bad, it'd take me all day. But at least I can tell you how to go about it.
All right, I'll try. I'm not sure how to do it.
I told you, I'll explain everything. I have a book here with the recipe, but it'll be better if I tell you. I know it by heart.
I can read as well as any man, if that's what you mean.
My word. Maybe you really are a noble son.
I'll take the book just in case, but if you give me some advice, I'd be grateful.
Of course. Everything we need is in the hut. Let's get to it.
Так, ну все понятно вроде бы. Где можно книжку прочитать, или тут книжки нету этой. Ладно, она если что подскажет. Немножко займемся алхимией. Поехали.
First, go to the recipe book. Now find the recipe for chamomile decoction and remember what you have to do. Then
Так,
get
сейчас
back to the
прочитаем,
bench
что нужно
and we'll
делать.
start.
Так, ну вроде бы все понятно. Все равно немножко прочитаю.
If you've read the recipe, get back to the bench.
Так, ну вроде бы я все заполнил. Точнее, запомнил. Все, поехали.
All right. First, you have to pour the right base into the cauldron. Choose the right pitcher from the shelf on the left, according to the recipe.
Так, нам нужно вино.
What did you pour in there?
Wine, of course. Like it says in the book.
Glad to hear it. Now try moving the cauldron over the flame, so you know how it looks when it starts boiling a bit. Hear that bubbling? It's boiling. Remember that well. For most potions, you just have to simmer the herbs for a bit. But sometimes you need to get it good and hot. so you have to get the fire blazing under the cauldron using the bellows. Try fanning it with the bellows to get it boiling. It's boiling! To keep it going, you mustn't stop with the bellows. If you want to cool it down quick, take it off the flame. Try it. Move the cauldron up. Good. Now we'll start with the brewing. Get all the herbs that you need ready. The ones you picked. Put them there on the shelf, so you've got them at hand. Maybe I ain't seeing right, but don't you have only one bag there? Something's missing. All right, let's get to it. First, throw 2 handfuls of chamomile into the cauldron.
Так, хорошо, 2 ромашки бросить сейчас. Еще одну.
Before you put it on the flame, turn the sand glass, so you know how long you're brewing it. It's got to be exact. Every grain of sand counts.
Так, вот песочные часы.
See? When the sand has flowed out, that's 1 turn. That's how long you have to boil the chamomile. Move the cauldron to the fire and wait until it starts bubbling. Then turn the sand glass. As soon as the sand runs out, take the cauldron off the fire again. Ain't that enough? Take the cauldron off the flames. All right. Now, take 1 handful of sage, grind it with a mortar and pestle, and drop it in the cauldron. Have you ground it? Good. Now, drop it in the cauldron. You don't have to boil it anymore. All you have to do now is decant it. Get a phial and pour it in.
Так, а куда мне вылить его?
Have you finished it? Done. Now, let's see what you've brewed.
Ну, надеюсь, я все отлично сделал.
I boiled that chamomile on too large a fire, I reckon. Here it is.
Ooh, by the smell of it, it's a chamomile decoction the way it should be.
Happy to help.
This should help Hans get better. I'll take care of it now.
All right. Is there anything else I can do to help?
I reckon you've done all you could. What you need now is a bit of rest. Go and get a good sleep. That works wonders.
I'm as hungry as a wolf.
Хорошо, сейчас поедим. Умоемся немножко. Надеюсь, барбоса мы потом найдем. Так, соберем, может, травы, на всякий случай. Пусть будет. Вот и собачка спит. Помог он нам.
Well done. I got rid of that corpse for you.
God bless you, Henry. Thank you kindly. I'll sleep easier now, and when Ignatius the Gravedigger comes by, I'll get him to take care of the rest.
Так, подняли репутацию. Ну что, погнали поедим немножко. Пару раз.
Oh, sacre. Someone got here before me.
Так, поедим яблочки немножко. Ну все, думаю, немножко ты наелся. Так что погнали спать.
A sword such as this will bring honor to its bearer.
True, Sir Radzik. If I'd have had its like back in Nicopolis, things would have worked out differently.
Where's my fucking sword?
And I found it. Everything I take now will be mine, and I plan to take everything.
Rotted hell!
Why would I miss one sword?
Because it's the last one my father forged, and I promised him I'd deliver it to you.
The stronger dog fucks the bitches, and war is a nasty business.
Where's my fucking sword?
You know what? I think I'll keep it. As a memento.
This isn't over. I'll find you!
Yeah!
Don't disappoint me.
Wake up, Henry. It's past sunrise. Hallelujah. I thought you'd never wake. Were you having a nightmare?
Bad dreams. You must be Pavlena, right?
That's right. I came in the evening while you were asleep. Ma told me what happened to you. Then I helped Ma take care of your friend that night?
Oh, Hans! He's alive! How is he?
Have no fear. He's alive, all right. Maybe too alive. Ma knows what she's doing, and that's the truth. I reckon she could bring the dead back to life. She said she dosed you with the strongest remedies she knows, and it looks like they did the trick. On that other fella for sure. Since he came to this morning, he hasn't stopped talking.
Yeah, that sounds like him, all right.
And what about you? How do you feel?
Definitely better than yesterday. Thanks.
That's good. Ma will be glad, but I heard you yelling in your sleep and went to check on you. Bad dreams?
I dreamt of Istvan Toth, a villainous, murderous whoreson who stole my sword. The last memento I had of my father. and I swore to get that sword back and avenge my parents.
Oh, that oath must be serious if it even torments you in your sleep. Dreams shouldn't be taken lightly. They can have real meaning, however hard they are to understand. What strikes you as the most important part of your dream?
I just told you. Toth.
You know his name, so he's no stranger to you. That could mean you'll meet him again. Or on the other hand, it's a deception and he wants to ensnare you in a trap, one way or another. You should watch out for yourself.
Thanks, Pavlina. I never thought of looking at it like that. It's a lot to think about.
You're welcome. But remember, it's only my reading. The only one who can really understand you is you yourself.
I expect you're right. So in the end, all the hard work will be on me. But this is all too much heavy thinking at once. Right now, what I need more is a little sunshine and fresh air.
Aye, that's the best remedy for many ailments. And a full stomach will help too. Breakfast is on the table, and I've got something else for you too. Come along, and we must save Ma from the clutches of his lordship.
Так, хорошо. Ну что, пойдем посмотрим, как там пан Ян. О, все с ним отлично.
Henry! Good morning, Henry. You have no idea how glad I am to see you. Come join our banquet in the midst of these exquisite woods.
I'm glad to see you too. I see you're in a surprisingly good mood for someone who was at death's door yesterday.
All the more cause for merrymaking. Even this water now tastes like the finest wine.
Of course, I did bring it all the way from the spring.
And for that, I am in your debt, fair maid. And I'm grateful to you too, Henry. Bojena told me what happened here yesterday. That's the third time you've saved my life. I suppose I'll have to give you some estate or something.
The third time? What in God's name happened the first two times?
Now, Henry, don't make her beg. Tell this good maiden of your heroic deeds.
Well, there was this time when me and Hans had some fisticuffs in the tavern, and for punishment, I had to accompany him on the hunt.
And I shot a boar.
And made it mad. And when Hans chased after the wounded animal, he got caught by a human patrol.
Humans?
They come from somewhere in Hungary. Sigismund brought them here to Bohemia as mercenaries. They're a very dangerous bunch.
I told you about them, though. The fellas in the tavern in Zheleyov were saying there's some foreigners like that camping in the rocks down by the pond.
What?
It's just what I heard.
Whoa, that's all we need. I hope they don't turn up here. What could us two do alone against them?
What could they want from us? But if they did come here to rob us, I'd shoot enough arrows into them to make them think twice. But the thing I want to know is, how did it end up with young Sir Hans?
Well, as I said, they took him captive.
Well, there must have been 10 of them. I hadn't a chance.
You must have been seeing double. As I recall, there were 2.
That just proves how well you can count. Besides, they were armed to the teeth and had bows and armor. It might as well have been 10.
Whatever. Anyway, with a bit of luck, I managed to free Sir Hans.
Why the modesty? You got them. Maybe a stroke of luck, but as we know, al dentes.
Fortuna juvat.
See now, you've finally learned it.
What?
It's just this kind of motto of ours. Fortune favors the bold.
Maybe they're really telling the truth about who they are. Who but a lord or a priest could know Latin? And priests they ain't. I can tell.
And as I recall, you already got a pony from Uncle Hanush as a reward for saving me. Your pebbles. So I'll save myself a few groschen.
Ah, but you never gave me anything for Talmberg.
For Talmberg? What was that about then?
The foe took the castle by subterfuge, and we planned a counterattack.
Under the cloak of darkness, we scaled the mighty walls of Talmberg Castle to get inside and open the portcullis to our brothers in arms who were poised and ready to attack.
And we almost succeeded. Only, along the way, Sir Hans here took an arrow to his noble seat.
Seat? He got shot in the backside.
My upper thigh, actually.
Backside it was. But that's no joke either. It's not easy to run with an arrow stuck in your arse. If I hadn't carried him...
I admit it, you saved my arse.
Well, now, you two have been through a thing or two. As far as I can tell, it really was his backside and not his thigh. I examined Hans and saw the scar for myself. But I reckon you paid off part of your debt the other day, sir.
Yeah, true. I'll never forget you for dragging me all the way here from the lake.
You're quite welcome. The Lords of Lipa do not leave their friends in the lurch.
Do tell. What else did the two of you encounter?
Quite a lot of things. But I'm afraid we don't have much time for storytelling right now. We came here on an important mission, and we cannot afford to dally any longer. We have to get to Troski as soon as we can. How far is it from here?
Not far. Once you climb the hill above Zhelioth, you'll see the castle.
All right. I think we should get on our way as soon as possible.
I'll prepare a bit of food for you, for your journey.
Oh, Bajena, I don't know how to thank you for all this.
Ah, but I do. Once we've settled our business with von Bergov, I shall reward you as befits a knight. You have my word of honor.
Now you've got me curious. I never got a knight's word before.
For a start, you can leave me that axe and spade. We can't manage without them.
Yes, of course. And thanks for everything you've done, Bajena.
I have something for you, Henry. Ma had trouble because of you, but I know you didn't do it on purpose, and you protected her when she needed it. I want to thank you for that. Take this potion. It will help when you're in danger or don't know which way to turn. Have a little sip each time, and it'll save you a lot of trouble. You'll see. It's not all that hard to brew. With a bit of practice, you could manage it yourself.
Thanks, Pavlena. This'll come in handy.
No doubt. But we'd better get going now.
Hans is right. We're very glad we met you. And we're obliged to you for your help and hospitality. God bless you.
And you too, sirs.
As Henry says, may God bless you for your generosity and your healing arts. And you have rightfully earned the gratitude of the House of Lipa for all time. If you should ever
можно
find
пока
yourself
что
in need,
что-нибудь
doors of
пособирать
Perkstein shall always be
интересное.
open to you.
Thank you, sir. Though, I'm not sure I could find the way to Perkstein. Hopefully we'll never need to take up your offer.
Мне кажется, тут больше ничего интересного не будет. Умоемся.
I know, but I was going past and I thought I'd...
Are you managing here all right?
We don't complain. We mostly live off the woods, and when we need something else, we buy it or get it from the villagers. Mostly, I weave baskets. And me and Ma brew ointments and potions. Then I go around the villages selling them, or I barter them for stuff we need. Sometimes folk come here to us, when it's something serious.
You said you'd shoot arrows at the humans. You can use a bow.
Yeah, I'm pretty handy with it. I train up there, on the cliff, whenever I have a free moment. And the hares hanging in Ma's kitchen didn't just walk in by themselves. If they'd let me take part in the tournament at Troski Castle, I'd beat all the men hands down, but that'll never happen. So I have to make do with hares and a straw mannequin.
How come you live here and not in the village?
Oh, that's hard to explain. It's just the way things turned out. And Ma and... Look, that's our affair, and we won't talk about it. Sorry.
Is anything interesting happening around these parts?
Them bandits is riding roughshod over the place. It's about time Lord von Burgau rousted them out, but I reckon you know something about that, huh?
You got that right.
And there's to be a big wedding. Young Lord Semin's gonna marry the daughter of the bailiff of Troskowitz, Thrush. That's the biggest thing happening. Apart from that... A band of nomads turned up here. They got a camp somewhere down by the pond. Take care, then.
Praise be.
Can you tell me something about these parts?
What can I say? The village of Sheleov is nearby, and close to it there's a big traveller's inn. And to the north of Sheleov is Tachov. They've got a blacksmith's there, and a small tavern. There's no love lost between the folks from Sheleov and Tachov. They're always out to spite each other. Some dispute about some meadow.
Well, I don't suppose those are the only villages around here.
It ain't far from Sheleov to Semin. Sir Jan, the owner, he got a big stud farm with fine horses, and down by the water, a mill. The biggest village in these parts is Troskowitz, what lies at the foot of the castle. The local bailiff has his seat there, and there's a tavern too. Then there's Nabakov Fortress, Sir Yaromir's seat. There's a mill at the foot of it. But Pavlena knows more gossip about folk around here. She goes out and about. I stay home these days and hardly meet a soul.
What about those armed men who came here?
Damned if I know. I just hope they don't show up here again.
How come you live out here?
That's just the way it is. It's for me to know, and you to find out.
Ah. All right. I won't pry.
It was
Ну,
good to see
хорошо,
you, my
ничего они
friend.
мне не рассказали. Ну что, Ян, погнали.
Finally! Where do you keep dallying?
My apologies, sir. I'm here now. We can get going.
Henry, don't provoke me.
I don't think Troski Castle is going to go anywhere. So what's the rush for all of a sudden?
We have a crucial mission, and things are already fucked up quite enough. I intend to return to Ratai with good news, and to do it quickly. Let's go!
What about Mutt? He's bound to be looking for us, and we can't just abandon him.
Henry, I like your dog, but that's not our priority right now.
He saved my skin.
So did I. First Troski, von Burgov and the mission, then we can look for your dog.
All right. But the moment things are sorted out, I'll go looking for him.
I'd expect no less of you. So, should we get going?
Hold on a bit. Before we hit the road, there's something you should know. I have a hunch that one of that band that ambushed us at the pond was Istvan Toth.
Toth? Are you yanking my pizzle? He's long since over the hills and far away.
I know how it sounds, but I saw him. Believe me. I'd never mistake his ugly face after all that happened.
Of course, Henry. I know you have accounts to settle with him, but that's nonsense. Toth is in Sigismund's service and is harassing his opponents. And Otto von Burgov is one of Sigismund's allies. So Toth's hardly going to attack his people. It was dark. God knows what you saw.
I saw him, the bastard, and I'll get him.
Yes. We'll surely get him one day. I promise you. And your sword, too. But I don't think either of them are around here. You're still my protector, though. So you need a weapon right away. Here you go. You never know.
Where'd you get it?
I found it in the dung pile. Must have belonged to the fellow I brawled with that night we got here. Come on, let's get going. Your mind will turn to better things along the way. hope they've got a good physician at this castle. Or at least a barber. I mean, that old crone got me on my feet. But I don't believe much in herbal remedies. You can't beat an educated man of medicine.
And I can't wait to sleep in a proper bed.
And some wine!
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, it's closed. Open up! I bear an urgent message for your liege lord. Hear me! Open the gate! I am a messenger from Sir Hanush of Lipa. Fucking shit! Fuck! You fucking cunts! Do you know who I am? No, we fucking don't! I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein, heir to Ratai! Now, look here, you filthy beggar! I'm not here for your amusement, so get your stinking, ragged asses out of here on the double. The pair of you!
What's all this about? Why don't you send those beggars packing?
I did, sir. They say they're messengers.
I am Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein. Envoy...
I heard. Nevertheless, I doubt Sir Hanush would send two vagabonds covered in excrement as emissaries. Apart from which, Sir Hans Capon is dead. We found his body by the pond. His company was ambushed by outlaws, and they were slaughtered to the last man.
Yes, yes, they ambushed us, but we managed to get away.
Sir, we met your Captain Thomas on our way. He can testify to who we are. He saw our message and its seal.
How terribly unfortunate you are. The captain's company was also ambushed by outlaws. The captain barely escaped with his life and has been delirious for 3 days. And even if he did confirm your story, I am under strict orders to admit no strangers to the castle.
Sir, there's a horseman approaching in King Sigismund's colours.
Ah, now that's what a messenger looks like. Count yourselves lucky that I don't have time to waste on you. Be gone!
I'm getting in, whether you like it or not.
Get your shitty hands off me! No, wait. Wait, one moment!
What the fuck was that?
So now what?
There's only one thing we can do.
two got any groschen?
What do you take me for, wench?
For someone who stinks like a badger.
Look, we've had a tough couple of days, so we'd like a bit of peace and quiet, a beer, and a bite to eat.
Unless you want to share a bowl of gruel, you're going to need more coin than this.
Just bring the best you have, and we'll settle later.
As the gentleman wishes.
Oh, she's not far off. We look like a couple of beggars, and we stink even worse.
What the fuck was all that at the gate? You try to talk to them and get shit poured on your head.
Different lands, different customs.
God's holy britches.
Well, I expect they've had trouble with beggars at the castle, so they act without thinking.
Oh, really? I'd never have figured that out. I'd rather hear some cunning plan how to get out of this shit. Huh?
Hey, where's that beer? The first thing we have to do is get ourselves into decent shape. Have a good scrub, get some better clothes. Then they might believe we're actually messengers.
That's all very well, except we can't even pay our bill here. Never mind a visit to the baths and the tailor.
So I suppose the best thing is to go back to Ratai and eat crow, eh?
To Ratai? You just don't get it, do you? We can't go crawling back like this. We'd be a laughing stock.
A laughingstock? We were outnumbered by a gang of bandits.
Yes, and how come they got away with it? Because we camped at that fucking pond. We've got no message, no coin, nothing but our ragged arses.
Chin up. We'll sort it out somehow, and everything will be fine again.
Nothing will be fine, my friend. I'll tell you 4 reasons why. Oates, Tankard, Conrad, and Nicholas, instead of sitting here with us, having a chat and a laugh, they're just food for crows in some godforsaken hole.
We'll go back and bury them as soon as we can.
Yeah, as soon as possible. They were good Christians, even though it didn't always seem that way.
We'll keep the promise we made at Pagena's. The best way to honor their memory is to finish our mission. We'll get inside the castle. You'll see. We'll avenge our lads and go back to Ratai with our heads held high. I promise you that.
Audentes fortuna juvat.
Audentes fortuna juvat.
Food. About bloody time.
Here we are. Gentlemen.
What is this stuff?
Hey, there's meat in that. And there's more than you gave me coin for. When you're finished, report for work.
Cheers.
What is it?
That's that woman from the pond.
Or the one you gave us away for?
I bear that witch. Wench.
What I tell you? What are you waiting for? She can vouch for who we are. Go to her.
Так, а это может уже сработать.
God be with you. A full pitcher of wine, please.
My word. That's a picture and a half. I ain't seen you here before. Who sent you? Not them nomad vagabonds, I hope.
Don't worry. I've come from the castle. I'm Catherine, and I've got the lovely job of keeping the soldiers' throats wet.
Ah, that's another matter then. Oh my. Ugh. Can you smell that too?
Oof. It stinks like something died here.
Sorry to interrupt.
Jesus, fella. That's a bit much.
Hey, youngster, if you want to go around mixing with my guests here,
Go and wash the stench off yourself at the trough first. Stinking up my establishment.
I hear one of them nomads is an acrobat who does all kinds of tricks.
An acrobat, eh?
Ну, пойдем умоемся. Видимо, она нас не узнала.
Him and his men were attacked by bandits. Most of them are dead.
Jesus Christ!
Lord von Berghoff is beside himself and won't allow his soldiers out the castle.
Aha! So that's why they sent you for the wine. Wait a moment then. I'll be right back.
Sorry to bother you, but I've seen you before.
Oh, eh? I don't remember. Hold on, are you the boy that cleans the pit under the castle shitting hole?
You were attacked by those bandits.
What bandits? What are you on about?
You were attacked at the pond. You, some other women, and so were we as it happened.
I have no idea what you're on about. I work at the castle and I wasn't at any pond.
You know very well what I'm talking about. I saved your life.
Are you drunk? Get out of my sight.
Here's your wine. Is this vagabond bothering you?
I can handle the likes of him myself. Thanks for the wine. Bye.
Look, please. I don't know what's up with you, but I know you were there. I need your help. You owe me that much. But we need to get to von Berghoff, and you're the only one who can confirm who we are.
You can't get into the castle. And even if you could, that was the King's messenger. Von Berghoff is getting ready to ride out.
Oh, shit.
If you want to speak to him, the best place would be Samin's wedding. He'll be there. For sure.
No, wait.
And don't ever lay your hands on me again!
What are you gaping at? Have you nothing better to do?
Why are you standing here like a pillar of salt? Are you ready?
Always ready.
Glad to hear it. You pair ordered a lot more than you paid for, so you work your debt off, like I said.
All right. What do you want us to do?
Over there by the gate, there's a cart with sacks of flour from the mill. My old man was meant to take them into the house, but as soon as he got a sniff of work, he vanished into thin air. The second door in there leads to the pantry. That's why I need you to haul the sacks. You have to lay each sack on the planks so they don't touch the damp floor and go moldy. If you just chuck it on the floor in the corner, it'll spoil. So do it properly. 2 men can finish the work in a jiffy, and then we'll be quits.
All right, we'll do it. Carrying a few sacks won't kill us. For sure, it's less daunting work than fighting bandits in the woods.
Aye, it's terrible about them bandits. We never had nothing like that here before. Like it or not, you can't pay what you owe me, so I'm putting you to work. Is that clear?
All right, we'll do it.
Glad to hear it. I can see you ain't stuck up like your mate. Where are you actually from, if you don't mind me asking?
Skalitz.
Never heard of it. I ain't been further than the back off me whole life. But I know this place inside and out.
I heard some talk about some wedding being planned here.
Ah, nobody's talking about nothing else. Young Lord Samin is marrying Agnes, the daughter of Thrush, our Truskovitz bailiff. And it's going to be a grand affair. When rich folks get married, that's a feast that's a lot different from when some tanner gets hitched to a bat-house wench.
Will Lord von Berghoff be at the wedding?
How should I know what his lordship's plans are? but most likely he will be. Samine is his vassal.
Where's the wedding going to be?
At Samine, of course. I expect old Sir Jan and our bailiff will try to outdo each other in showing off their wealth.
Could I get to the wedding somehow?
I don't know about that, lad. It's for invited guests only.
Who is this Samine?
Can't you tell by the name? The Lord of Samine. The fort and the village belong to him. Old Jan Samine is the head of the family, and his son's called Olda, and it's him who's getting itched. There used to be a rich family. Their glory's faded a bit, but they still have some clout.
It seems that's really our only chance.
What's that?
Oh, nothing.
If you want to find out more, there's a couple of invited guests having an ale over there. Young Svaja there. He's the bride's brother. He can be a bit of a pain, but he's a good lad at heart.
Is this the only tavern here?
In Troskovitz it is.
You must be doing pretty well then, eh?
I'd be doing a lot better if everyone paid their bills.
Where do you want the sacks moved to?
To the pantry. That's the second door inside there. But I'd split the work with your pal if I was you, so you don't do yourself a mischief. It's his debt too, ain't it?
Where's the pantry?
Second door inside the tavern. You can't miss it.
Is that all you know about the wedding?
What else is there to know? I'm just looking forward to being a guest and having someone serve me for a change.
What's life like here?
Better now that you and your pal have finally had a wash. Truth to tell, it used to be better. The war might be far away, but more and more young lads are going away to fight. But then there's a shortage of folk to do the work around here, and that's a big problem.
Where can I find work here?
First, you gotta carry them sacks for me, so don't bother looking anywhere else yet. But otherwise, you can find work anywhere. You just need to keep your eyes open and not be afraid to ask. Try Radovan the smith for one. He's a bit odd, but he'll pay decently for a helping hand. Come to mention it, he's sat just round the corner there, if you want to ask him about it. And that fella next to him is Miller Crazel. He needs helpers now and then, but watch out for him. You know what they say about Millers.
I've heard things all right.
Well then, be careful.
I'll go and discuss it with my friend then.
And careful with them sacks. I don't want you ripping them or anything like that. Here it comes.
Ну что, много чего узнали. Значит, нужно потаскать мешки, узнать насчет свадьбы. Еще можно же поговорить с этими, с кузнецом, правильно? Давайте поговорим.
How are you?
Could be better.
Cheers.
And the more I think about it, the clearer it is to me that I can't.
Greetings to you.
Likewise, lad.
I haven't seen you here before. Where are you from?
I fled from Silver Skallets.
Silver Skallets? You people mine silver there?
Aye. Well, we did. Until Sigismund attacked us.
Bugger me.
He needs coin for his troops, so he goes after the silver, the sly ginger fox. Even the Kuttenbergers surrendered to him not long ago, I heard.
Did you lot surrender to him as well?
He'd have had to talk to us first. They just attacked, burnt down the village, and slaughtered most of the people.
I'm sorry to hear that. May God welcome their souls. Thank Christ we've been spared that kind of misfortune so far, eh, Radovan?
That's because they have silver, and we ain't got shit, Crazel.
Good point.
What do they call you, lad?
Henry of Skallets.
Fancy yourself a noble, it seems.
So, Henry, what was it you were after?
Since you've joined us.
I'm looking for work.
And what can you do?
I can do a lot of things. But mainly, I'm a blacksmith.
Bugger me. A blacksmith, you say? That makes two of us. And my apprentices have just vanished along with my goods, the bastards. When I'm swamped with work, let's shake on it.
Why work in the smithy when you can work in my mill? The job's cleaner and less grueling.
Oi, I asked him first.
My own pa was a blacksmith, so I spent my whole childhood at the forge. I know how to handle a hammer and bellows.
Bugger me. That's a lot more than the last lot I had. Whenever you're passing by that way, drop into my forge in Takov and ask for Radovan. That's me.
I heard there's going to be a big wedding in these parts. What do you know about it?
That's right. A big affair in Samin.
Everyone wants to go.
And anyone who's not invited is trying to worm their way in somehow. Not me, though. I couldn't give a toss.
Because you weren't invited, eh?
Of course I was invited. But what do I care about young Samin and the bailiff's lass? We're all just playthings in God's hands. One day, our earthly bonds will vanish in time, like smoke.
Trying to sound clever again, are you, Crazel?
All I'm saying is that these petty affairs of men leave me cold.
Sod that! It's gonna be big! Even Lord von Burgo himself is gonna be at the wedding. And he hardly ever shows his face in public.
Could someone get to the wedding without an invitation?
Someone? You mean? Forget it, looking like that.
Well, I think it might be possible, using certain methods. Play of light and shadow, a cloak as black as night.
What are you going on about? More Miller's witchery?
All right. I won't say another word.
Semin's bound to keep a damn close eye on his big day, so you won't get in without an invitation.
Would it be possible to get to von Burgov, even though he keeps his distance from people?
I don't know. He's either locked away in his castle or traveling somewhere. And he's powerful and important, so the only chance of meeting him is at the wedding. At least for us who are invited.
And everybody will want something from him. He'll be dancing for joy, I can tell you.
So, how can I get to the wedding?
The best thing would be to find a job that we needed there.
Aye. There's always lots of hands needed at a wedding. As the hours pass and the guests raise their goblets, they'll lower their guard.
Bugger it. Cut the mysterious horseshit. You'll scare the lad. Look, if I'm satisfied with you in the smithy, I can guarantee you'll be at the wedding.
Or, if you came to help me at the mill, I'll get you there as well.
Keep your nose out, Crazel. The lad wants to work for me. It's his family trade, so don't try to mess with his head.
Well, maybe he'll change his mind.
I've got to be going.
Wait, there's something else I want to ask. What brought you all the way from Scarlet's? And who's that companion of yours?
We were straightforward with you, so don't be shy and tell all.
It's a long story. What I will say is that fella who looks like he sleeps in a dung heap is Sir Hans Capon of Perkstein. We were supposed to deliver a message to Lord von Burgov at Troski. We set up camp down by the pond, and in the evening we were attacked by bandits. They slaughtered our men. It was only through luck that we saved our skins. We lost everything, even the letter. So they wouldn't let us into the castle.
Can't say I'm surprised. I'd send you packing myself. But it's true, there's bandits marauding in these parts. They're getting bolder and bolder. Even attacked a patrol from the castle recently.
Aye, these are evil times. Nothing ever happened like that in King Charles's day.
Farewell then, Henry.
Farewell.
Ну что? Узнали, где можно найти работу еще. Что, погнали работать?
I talked to that woman from the pond.
So I noticed. And you took your time coming back to me. It didn't look like she was too pleased to see you, though.
The main thing is, she denied ever being at the pond.
It's definitely her, though. You don't forget a figure like hers.
I got the feeling she didn't want to talk about it for some reason. I did get something out of her, though.
What? Don't keep me in suspense.
Von Bergov is about to leave the castle.
Sacre! If he pledges to Sigismund before we can get to him, everything's fucked.
Calm down, let me finish. There's also going to be a big wedding in the region. Young Sir Alder, the son of a respected nobleman from nearby Semine Fort, is marrying Agnes, the daughter of Thrush, the local bailiff. It's the talk of the town. Invitation only, it seems. But getting to the wedding isn't as impossible as it might seem. There'll be lots of jobs to do for it. So we could get there as help for the blacksmith, or miller, and maybe someone else.
Why should some wedding in a shithole near Troski be of any interest to us?
Because it looks like von Bergov will be there.
Oh, that's fantastic news, Henry. So all we have to do is get on the guest list. And that shouldn't be a problem because you've got a cunning plan, right?
Like I said, there's going to be a lot of work involved in a wedding like that. That's our chance.
Work. Well, if you want. But how will you get me to the wedding?
Well, I thought we could both get jobs there.
I'm sure there are other options.
There's something else we have to sort out first. I spoke to the innkeeper.
I noticed that too.
We can work off our debt. All we have to do is carry a few sacks of flour from that cart to the pantry. If we both do it, we'll be finished in no time.
Lug sacks? Are you yanking my noble pizzle?
I'm serious.
I can't work. I'm a noble. What if someone saw me?
Do you have any idea what you look like?
Well, all right. I may not look much like a noble, but my blood's still blue. People will remember my face, and when everything's cleared up, word will get around that I lugged sacks here like some beggar. As if the disgrace at the gate wasn't enough. Oh!
You know, sir, not everyone is born with a silver spoon in their mouth. Ordinary people have to work their whole lives. So you should be able to manage it too. At least for one day.
Henry, haven't you ever heard of the 3 states of man?
Would that be some aristocratic excuse?
Not so fast. It's God's law. Oratoris, the priests who pray for us. Laboratoris, the plebs who shovel shit and pay taxes. And Bellatoris, the warriors who protect the ones on their knees or in the fields. Now, which am I? So if you find me a sword, I can get to work. But wield a pitchfork or carry sacks? That's against God and nature.
Ну, слушай, он какой-то слишком важный, если честно.
So, which do I belong to?
Good question. Before I'd have said you were a peasant, but it turned out that you're a noble's bastard. And you're pretty handy with a sword. And you've even been in a monastery.
I'd rather forget about that.
You're a bit of everything. But if you get your hands dirty with labour, it wouldn't be such an offence against divine order as in my case. Pure blood. Noble status and that. In short, be so kind as to get to work. I promise I'll make it up to you.
Are you really not going to help me? It's just a couple of sacks.
Come now, Henry. What did I tell you about Bellatoris and the natural order of the world? I simply cannot carry sacks.
They say clothes maketh the man. And you don't look much like a noble right now. So, I don't think the natural order will collapse if you get your hands dirty.
What do you know about a nobleman's honour? It's not long since I had to drag one sack through the night, and if I hadn't, that sack wouldn't be here now. So I think I've done my fair share. I mean it, Henry. Stop trying to push me.
Suit yourself, then. So, you simply aren't going to work?
That is a warrior's lot, Henry. Conserving his strength till the next battle comes along.
Right. I'll get to work. Alone.
Well, If it makes you feel better, I'll scratch your back later.
How? By giving me a large estate?
That too, of course. Maybe 2 estates. But above all, once we're out of the worst, I'll help you find your dog. As soon as we have at least some gear, we'll head into the forest and find Mutt in a trice. Although, if you think about the 3 states of man, looking for lost dogs is more like a huntsman's work. But let's pay no mind to that.
How generous of you, Lord Capon.
I know, my dear Henry. Such is my nature.
Короче, понятно. Будем один работать. Ну ладно, фиг с этим паном-тачиком. Погнали таскать. Ну, как в реальной жизни, короче. Вот сидит, отдыхает, а мы работаем. Ну, понеслась. Но барбоску точно нужно найти. Так, вот и кладовая, правильно. На пол эти мешки лучше не класть вот сюда. Ну, долго придется таскать, слушай. 5 мешков. Мог бы сделать 3 хотя бы. Так медленно идем. Танцульки. Так, что тут наверху, мне интересно, есть что-нибудь или нету? Ну, что взять можно? Видимо, пока что нельзя. Не, красть не будем пока что. Вдруг еще засекут или еще что-нибудь. Она же все равно помогла нам. Ладно, погнали. Еще 3 мешка.
Fuck off. Remembering some words you heard in church doesn't make you a nobleman.
You're just an idiot, a stupid.
Тут, мне кажется, он в перетрягу сейчас влезет. А лучше бы мне помог. То пан. На пана ты уже не похож.
You say? Say it again. It was their own fault.
What do you mean? They attacked themselves? What the fuck are you trying to say?
Everyone knows it's dangerous around Troski. Making camp in such an unprotected place is suicide.
Where else were they supposed to make camp, smart-ass?
Somewhere in the rocks, maybe. Not out in the open by the pond. Only a fool would do that.
Stop insulting our dead companions!
What dead companions? You think I'm gonna fall for that cock and bull story?
Pack it in, Henry. There's no point in arguing with this yokel. He fancies himself as a military strategist.
I don't believe a word you're saying. A weed like you surviving a fight against bandits even von Berghoff himself has trouble with?
Believe what you like, but I'm telling the truth. And in fact, I'm willing to overlook all your insults if you apologize right now. And invite me to that wedding.
Did you hear what that lying nobody wants?
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein, and I demand your immediate apology.
I am Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. Sir Hans Capon, Lord of Perkstein. You're starting to bore me, you and your silly made-up name.
No apology, then. It looks like I'm going to have to teach you a lesson.
Oh, I'm so scared.
That's enough! Cut it out, both of you!
Mind your own business. Take your ragamuffin friend and get the fuck out of our village.
I give you a chance to apologize, and you keep insulting me? Get ready to pick up your broken teeth with broken fingers.
Oh, I'd like to see that. Come on, then.
You scum!
Опа, подеремся. Драться так же, да?
Hey!
Yeah,
Get
you
him!
should have fucking stayed out of it. These days. Let him have it. Surprise,
I'll crush you!
Nice strike. This won't end well for you. You're not much for us, fucker. You haven't got chance. Nice strike.
Show your stuff!
We'll finish this quickly.
Ну так нечестно, их слишком много, слушай. О, вообще ничего не могу сделать. Будем пробовать.
I'm all yours!
Вот еще один. По одному, ребята, ё-моё.
Show your stuff!
Scheiße! You won't get me!
Все, минус. Давай, давай, иди сюда.
What the hell is going on here? Grab them vagabonds!
Bastards! This will cost you dearly. Keep your mouth shut and don't make it worse. What? You behave like a spoilt brat. How dare you speak... You know, if you just shut up and done some work, we'd have coin by now and be on our way to the castle, but no, not his lordship. You've got a nerve. If you hadn't have played the hero, we'd have been there long since and I wouldn't have had to get you out of that mess. Oh yeah, because this isn't a mess, is it? Fuck off.
Shut up! Oh, you'll get a whipping too.
Just who the hell do you think you are?
I'm fed up with pulling you out of the shit all the time.
You pull me out of the shit! And who dragged you through the woods at night, eh? Better keep your mouth shut. I shouldn't have brought you along.
Well, that's something we can agree on. I could have been sitting in the mill instead of rotting in these stocks.
And whose fault is that?
What? Who started quarrelling with the locals in their tavern? You should have listened to me and calmed down.
And let him insult me? Fat chance. If it hadn't been for me, we wouldn't have even been in that tavern. We've been in the shit right from the start because you had to play at being the knight in shining underwear, saving damsels in distress.
I don't believe it. You're trying to put the blame on me? Just like that?
Who else is to blame? You're just a simple peasant who has no idea how the world works.
Oh, and our little prince knows all about it, doesn't he? You only left your uncle's a week ago. All you've known up to now is a tavern on Rat-Eye Green.
Now you've gone too far. I've had it up to here with you. With you and your pontificating. You were supposed to make sure nothing went wrong. And how did that turn out? It was me who had to save your life.
You're fucking useless! You couldn't even keep an eye on your own mutt!
Oh, that's enough. This isn't getting us anywhere. I understand you're downcast after all that happened to us. And I understand you need to take it out on someone. I can take it. But we shouldn't forget we have a job to do. And do it we must. Together.
That's exactly what I'm doubting. Everything goes to shit when you're by my side.
You don't really mean that. Calm down.
I'm perfectly calm. That's it. My life went to shit from the first moment I met you. And I've only just realised it. You're like a ball and chain. And I'd have bagged that wild boar too if it weren't for you.
Well...
And none of the rest would have happened. I wouldn't have been showered in shit.
Oh, come on, Capon.
Don't you cape on me. Not another word. I'll have to consider what to do next.
Right, ladies. Time to go home. But I swear to Christ, if I catch you again, I'm gonna skin you both alive.
Isn't that?
Otto.
Hey! Go!
Oh, shit. Right, where were we? Go on, get out of my sight.
What are we gonna do?
You can do as you like. You can go and carry sacks or dig latrines. I'll look after myself. I'll go and see Lord von Berghoff at the wedding. I bid you farewell.
Right. Yeah. If I were in your shoes, I'd be glad to be rid of the good for nothing, eh? Yeah. All right, off you go.
I suppose I really do need to find some job. I'll find mutt without you, you stuck-up lord of Perkstein.
Ну что, вот мы и остались одни. Так, хорошо. Надо с ней поговорить будет, я так понял, сейчас. Ну, он как-нибудь выкрутит сам, этот Ян Птачек. Слишком гордый.
I don't bite.
What do you want from me?
I don't want anything from you. I should actually be thanking you.
Uh-huh. For what?
I've been begging for alms here for days, but I didn't make any real coin till today. And that's thanks to you. The scene you made brought out nearly all of Troskowitz.
You're welcome. At least it was good for something.
Oh well, not many people can make such a strong first impression. But look on the bright side.
Hmm?
Now things can only get better.
Yes, you're probably right. It doesn't get much worse than that. Unless somebody tries to kill me. Again.
You're still alive in one piece. It's a new day and the sun is shining. Like Tomcat always says, bruises build character.
Do you know anything more about Tomcat?
They say he's a master swordsman, but a real joker too. He loves showing off to girls.
Do you think Tomcat might teach me a few of his tricks?
No offence, but compared to him, you're a bit of a lightweight.
I don't want to pull wagons, but if he can handle a weapon, I'd be happy to train a little with him.
Well, one of the guards tried to take him on and came back whipped like a dog, moaning like he'd been broken in two.
Well, sure. If he's that strong, I'm not surprised.
More like some trick he's got that our watch doesn't know. Or at least that's what the poor man said.
Where might I run into Tomcat?
In the camp by the tower. That is, by Rock Tower Pond. He watches the camp for the nomads.
Should I watch out for them?
No, I don't think so. They mind their own business, but strangers usually mean trouble for them, so they're careful. Try not to stare too hard and hold your tongue, otherwise Tomcat will show you some of his other skills.
How does he show off for the girls?
With his muscles. He breaks logs with his hands. He even let himself be run over by a loaded hay wagon. Crazy. But to be fair to him, he sometimes helps people. Stanislav's sheep fell into a pit one time.
And Tomcat pulled it out?
And, not just that, he crawled down to get it. And when he found the poor thing had a broken leg, he carried it on his back all the way home.
Так, хорошо, мы узнали, у кого потренироваться. А ты вообще кто такая, интересно?
Hey, you. What's your name, anyway? What do you do?
I'm Bara. Just Bara.
Looks like you know your way around here pretty good. You're from here, right?
I ain't. I'm just passing through.
Where are you headed, if you're only passing through here?
For work. To the city. I'm tired of serving landholders. They all promise the moon, but then you're eating stale bread, cold porridge, and a nary a groschen in sight. With the city folk, it's bound to be better.
Ну, правда. Это реально правда. В городе будет получше.
Why exactly are you helping me?
Why? Why? Because you look like you need it. I've been in the ship plenty of times, and I know how appreciated a helping hand is in times like that.
You said you were going to a city. You mean like to Prague? Or somewhere further?
I'd like to go to Prague, but I don't know anybody there. In Kuttenberg, at least I have a cousin.
Aha. So you're going to visit her?
Well, she doesn't know it yet. But I won't be troubling her long. Just until I find a way to make a living.
You're something like a wanderer?
Nah. I usually find work with someone, stay for a while, and once I save a bit, I move on.
Then why are you begging here?
Sometimes I collect herbs for the apothecary, or help in the tavern. But I'd like to go somewhere else, so I'm scraping up whatever I can. But on the whole, you could say I'm a traveller, or a nomad. But don't say it too loud, the locals don't take kindly to them.
Why?
Because they're different, and it scares people. They travel from place to place and take their home with them.
I'd like to see what their homes look like.
You can go and see them, just don't stare too long.
What do you want to do in the city?
I'll find something. I'm not afraid of work. I'm not half-witted. Maybe someone could use a cook or a servant.
Don't get your hopes up. The city can be a pretty dangerous place for a girl on her own.
You mean they don't hand out groschen by the bucketful? And the streets aren't full of roasted stuffed geese? I appreciate your concern, but I have to get to the city first. That's going to take me a long while yet.
I'm practically naked. Nobody's going to want to even talk to me like this.
At least you're not walking around bare-assed. Although that might not be a sorry sight.
Ah, very funny. I'd rather you tell me where I might get some clothes.
And what do you have in mind? Brocade and satin, a monk's robe, or perhaps Sir Brunswick's armour?
I could use some armour. Proper, like, for a night. And no rusty junk.
And you are like a knight?
Well, yeah, I don't look so good. But I swear I came here in armor, sword at my side, and on a horse.
Wow. And where is your armor, sword, and horse now?
That's a long story. And it's not a happy tale.
Well, you can hardly buy new armor now, but you might find something in the town hall armory. Although you'll need quick hands.
Thanks. These'll come in handy.
Just don't get yourself caught again.
I have no money. I might as well beg on the village green like you.
The hell you will. This is my turf. Here you go. I'll skip supper. It's partly your doing anyway.
Wow. I mean, thank you. Seriously.
Yeah, don't start crying. You'd better find some work quick.
Do you know where I might find accommodation?
Betty in the tavern lets people sleep in the hay. But you have to pay.
I'm not going near that tavern. I'd catch hell again. Got any other ideas?
If you find some work, maybe you'll get a place to sleep too.
Ладно, короче, вроде бы все понятно. Сейчас еще спрошу про свадьбу и погоню.
Is getting to that wedding in Semi. Do you know anything about that celebration?
Well, yeah. People are talking of nothing else. The Lord's son is getting married to the sister of that lout he was fighting with.
How much time do you think I have? Have the preparations already begun?
From what I hear, the bride's dress still ain't finished, and blacksmith Radovan still ain't started smithing the gift for the groom. So, no rush.
Hopefully by then I'll find a way to sneak in. Oh, damn. I could use a horse. It'll take years to get to Semin on foot.
Don't exaggerate. This province is small.
Still, it'll be faster with a horse.
There's a stud farm in Semin, renowned far and wide.
And which way is Semin?
Southwest from here, not too far. There's a road goes right there from the green. Just go down the hill. Once you see the walled farmhouse, you're there. Though I'll be a queen before you can afford a horse from Semin.
Oh well, it was nice to meet you, but I should probably get going. Get a job, and so on.
Don't worry, you'll manage. Till we meet again.
Ну что, про работу мы знаем, куда идти к кузнецу. Одежду найдем, ну и надо умыться. Продолжим в следующей серии.